Record of Ragnarok, it starts off like it's the end times, right? Gods finally get fed up with the human race, so therefore they want to take them out. So they vote, all the gods vote, and they vote for Ragnarok.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
The Record of Ragnarok, it starts off like it's the end times, right? Gods finally get fed up with the human race, so therefore they want to take them out. So they vote, all the gods vote, and they vote for Ragnarok. And so they basically say select 10 champions, right? Is it nine? Nine champions.
Nine champions.
Is it select nine champions, and there would be a battle between nine champions of the gods and nine champions of humans. So basically, what intrigued me into Ragnarok was that right there. It was like we're gonna get to see the best of the best of humanity, right? Our ultimate warriors, and that's what drew me into it right away. I don't know about you, Nick. That was just like that was the ticket. I was like that. I love that kind of world setting, world fighting. It's just like I love seeing all of our greatest champions across the universe, right?
Yeah.
So I have it pulled up. I'm not sure if you do, Nick. The rounds of round one, round two, round three.
Yeah.
Who were fighting? You got it. Okay. Do you want to list off round one? Who was fighting?
The first one was, of course, everybody knows him, Thor, for the gods, and then it was Lubu for humanity. And if you don't know Lubu, he's pretty much, I mean, in every war game that you have, everything. He's an iconic commander, iconic fighter. I think it was a great way to start the fighting of two well-known. I mean, everybody knows Thor from different types of shows and Marvel and everything. So it was two big names that you can really resonate with on it. It showed pretty much the humans, I guess, the surprise of their strength, because of course they're gods. They don't think that anybody's on their level. And when you have a person like Lubu in history that can do what he did in the fights against Thor, put some damage on him actually, and it was ended up being an bout that went Thor's way, which a lot of people expected. But it was the mutual respect that you start to see throughout the whole series of humans showing up to fight it one-on-one with, well, not one-on-one fully because they have help from the Valkyries, but one-on-one with the gods, and pretty much just go toe-to-toe with them in some pretty epic battles.
Right. So the Valkyries, yeah, you brought up a great one. The Valkyries, basically, so Valkyries and mythology, right? In Norse mythology, the Valkyries basically they are grantors of Valhalla. So they pull the warriors who die in death, die a warrior's death. They pull them to Valhalla, right? So in this they changed it a little more. They put it more like they're guardians, like they're gonna like hold the shield them, or help humanity, because all Valkyrie are human at one point, and then when they die in battle, they become Valkyrie, right? So they become some type of Valkyrie. So that's what it is. So like they have a part of humanity with them, therefore they have like that sense of like urgency of save us, right? So, and there's probably alternative motives we don't know, because like the right now it's just focus based on the fighting. Yeah, but definitely Lu Bu, Chinese military general, politician, warlord. This is coming from his Wikipedia. They don't know exactly when he was born, but they do know when he died, and that was February 7th in 199 AD. So he was nicknamed the Flying General, which kind of gives it credence to like the way they pay homage to the way he does it in his fighting, where he's able to like throw that massive spear across the universe or across the mountains. I don't know if you remember, like he was slapping that stick around, like cutting the
Yeah.
wind in half and the mountains in half. Dude, it's just they get a little wonky with it, man. But it's awesome though. I love it, man. Uh, yeah, but Lu Bu, so he basically he's one of China's greatest warriors. So therefore, he's promoted as the fighter. Now Thor, everybody knows it kind of changed Thor up this around. I like Thor this way. I don't like the Thor like the way they depict him on Ragnarok and God of War. It's stupid. How making Thor
Yeah.
fat, dude. Like
Yeah.
if anyone reads any type of Norse mythology, man,
Yeah.
Thor. And yeah, I know all Vikings weren't like built tough, but I mean, dude, they weren't all fat slobs either, man.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, it was supposed to depict him as a real strong man. Look, Brian Shaw. Look up Brian Shaw. 6'8". Like man's huge, man.
Yeah.
We don't have fat belly, gut, and everything hanging over. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude's huge. Like yeah, he's not like six pack ripping ass, but I mean, he's not also like super fat and disgusting looking. The mountain, Thor Bjornsson, the other strong guy.
Yeah.
He's not some fat beer belly guy. Oh, dude, it disgusts me the way they make Thor nowadays. But yeah, so they changed him up. I liked it. Muscular, strong. They didn't really have They tamed his personality down though. I don't know if you did, but it kind of makes sense because at the end, like in real Thor mythology, when he's about to face oh dang, what's her name? Nimi. I think that's who it was. He was supposed to be facing the
Yeah.
world snake at the very end. He's serious. He's not like it's not a joke. It's not a fight because that's his end game. He knows he's gonna die once he
Yep.
fights the world snake. In real Ragnarok, right? But yeah, you're absolutely right. Round one, boom, winner right there. Thor. I didn't even have to second guess it on that one. And I was like, Thor won, bro. Like, who's gonna beat Thor? And I saw Lubu. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that, bro.
Like I
So
like you, but no.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, round one, exciting, set the tone. Put a lot of action, a lot of fighting in there, and I guess let's move into round two.
Yeah. Round two is I didn't expect him to fight right off the bat, but the mighty Zeus decided to step in and fight, help get a commanding lead for the gods. You look at him at first and you're like, oh, he's a scrawny old man, of course, and he pulls a Master Roshi type stuff where he fully goes crazy. But it was a good, I feel like pick for humanity. They picked Adam, of course, the story Adam and Eve, Zeus type of stuff. So has that same feel of it and everything. We talked about it kind of before the second season started. Of it didn't the power level kind of didn't make sense of it at first when you start seeing those few episodes where it's like, come on, dude, like this is Zeus, like arguably the greatest like god of mythology and everything, and Adam's going toe to toe with him, like it. It made sense at the end when Adam basically was talking about how humanity keeps pushing no matter what, and they find ways to pretty much alter their reality and alter their decisions and stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything on it.
Yeah, sure,
It
man.
was
So Adam is like closest to perfection as possible, right? Like he is
yeah,
perfection, right? Other than one sin, right? His one sin is that he ate the forbidden fruit, right? I didn't like the whole like if you watch it like the whole premise like he went in there purposely ate it and stuff like that. I don't agree with all
yeah,
that, that kind of we're thinking on it, but because
yeah,
if you look at the way the stories in the Abrahamic Bible goes, Adam did have a personal relationship with God, but like not in the sense that he could walk into his high court, right? It was more
yeah,
of a on the ground servitude type, right? So that being said, Adam's close to perfection, so his body heals faster. His body is stronger. He's smarter than anything that we can ever be. Right? He's perfect. Right? But with that being said, they gave him this weird power of like what was it that he's able to copy and mimic like
Yeah.
people's like yeah, dude. If they that was the weirdest power to me in
It's
all
like
things
that was the only
that
thing they could think of for it.
you know, like,
Yeah.
letting him eat the apple gave him like he's the knowledge of good and bad, right?
Yeah.
He gained that power of knowing what is good and bad. So therefore, they took it in the sense like he could see like through
Yeah.
all deceptions, all powers, right? All works, right? So cool, whatever. Zeus, it kind of makes sense because Zeus is getting older, right? It's the end, it's the world Ragnarok, right? So in Greek mythology, Zeus does die off, right? So that being said, he is they don't believe in him as anymore, the humans. So that's how basically Greek gods gain their powers by the people worshiping and sacrificing
Yeah.
to him, right? So that's how they gain their power. So like since humanity doesn't do that anymore in the modern area or in that time frame, we don't know exactly where this time frame this all lands because because like if they're talking about modern fighters and stuff like that, it kind of like where's our modern fighters, like people
Yeah.
pumped up on steroids and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that would be where it's at, right? So I don't know, but I haven't looked ahead, so I don't know if that's there or there there, but like we're watching this like this in the time frame. So that being said, definitely hated it. I jumped off the bandwagon fourth episode in because I was like, this is stupid. Him reflecting everything Zeus got. So I was like, Jesus Christ. So I threw it away and I didn't come back to it for like almost a year. And then Nick was like, you gotta watch it through, man. I was like, you're gonna like it. You just watch it through. I'm like, I guess I'll go watch it through. And like I think it was like a month before Ragnarok season 2 was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess I'll go watch it through. And I watched it through and I was like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. So I am with that. But everybody knows Zeus. There's really nothing. He didn't really do anything spectacular. They didn't really change him. He's the gods among gods and kings among kings. So that one was a good fight. But I guess in the sense they did introduce some new characters. They showed the Pantheon where they showed Zeus.
Yeah.
Pantheon. They showed Ares got into the mix, and I thought he was Hades for the longest time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the other dark shadow dude. Did you know that was Odin? I didn't know that was
Oh,
Odin
the one
at
with the
first.
crows.
Yeah, I
The one
didn't
with
know
the,
that was
yeah.
Odin
Yeah.
at
I
first.
I figured it was him only because of when him and Loki were talking. I was like, and
I
he
thought
said
that was
something.
Hades
Yeah.
because he was hanging out with Poseidon right next to him.
Yeah.
I thought that was Zeus, Hades, and
I
Poseidon.
I only thought it was him also because I used to play Age of Mythology all the time, and I remember he would have a white and a black crow on his picture in there.
Well, no, so does
Yeah,
Hades.
and
Hades
yeah,
has two crows.
but it,
Yeah, so I didn't think about that.
yeah,
Yeah, until season
you,
2, they said, "Hey, Odin," and Odin,
yeah,
did some magical thing. Like I don't know what that
he,
was, but it was just some
he like
magical
started smiling and like laughing, and they were like, "What the
right?
heck?"
Like releases power. Like where was all
Yeah,
that energy back there, bro? Like so, all right.
yeah,
So
it
round
was
three shows up, man.
yeah. Um, round three, I mean, the humans are down 2-0. They pretty much feel defeated, so they had to figure something out. They ended up the gods picked Poseidon, of course, another Greek god. Try to go with the flow of it. Everybody knows Poseidon controls pretty much the middle area, the water, oceans, all that. Zeus's brother, and the humans. Not a lot of people probably know him, but I'm probably gonna get his name wrong, and you can fix me on this, Andrew. Kojira Sasaki or
Sasaki. Yeah, you're right.
okay,
Sasaki.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, I know he's a well-known Japanese swordsman. His of course his probably his best battle or well known for what they say is with Miyamoto Musashi, or
Oh, bro, don't
I got
ruin
it
that
wrong.
one for me, bro. Miyamoto Musashi, bro.
Musashi, there you
Don't
go.
ruin that name, bro. Like you,
Oh
you,
yeah, I
you
couldn't.
studied Pokemon, but you
It,
didn't study
it's hard.
Miyamoto, bro. Come on,
It's
bro.
hard for me because in the game I used to play, Rise of Kingdoms, his name is different, and so it's so hard because I was like, for 5 years I said it that way, and then when I
Oh
realized
my
that's not
god.
his real name, I was like, this is wrong. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Rise of Kingdom. I don't know that game. Yeah.
yeah, it was like Clash of Clans. It was you didn't miss
Oh,
nothing.
okay. All right, all right.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was I mean, all hope was pretty much gone. Poseidon, pretty much the cocky guy that he always is in a lot of shows that you see him in. And I mean, you're up 2-0. Mankind and humanity are kind of down. They think they're going to lose. But one thing about the humans, like we said with Adam, is that they don't give up. They find ways to win. And Sasaki is you find out his story of he always failed. Every time he failed, but he just never gave up. And I loved it because you start when you see these fights, you see people from their past lives that come in and they start talking about their stories of how they became the great fighter that they are. And you find out that all these great fighters and swordsmen that he went up against, he learned all their techniques pretty much from losing to them countless times and then finally beating them. And in the battle with Poseidon, I think this is the one where it really shocked the gods because he ends up figuring out what Poseidon was trying to do. From I mean, don't get me wrong, he gets injured drastically, and you think pretty much it's all over, but he ends up getting Poseidon, catching him, and I believe he cut his head off. If I'm not mistaken, but I think it was his arm, one of those. He cut something off at.
Oh, Poseidon's?
Yeah,
No, he cut. I think he cuts Poseidon's head.
yeah, I think it was. Yeah, yeah, and then that's when they were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
enraged and everything because the humans finally got a win and they killed a god in
Right.
front of everybody and they couldn't believe it. Of course, the Greek gods were very angry because that's one of theirs and they just lost and stuff. But I liked it. That was probably one of my favorite battles in that after the Thor and Lubu one were pretty good, but that one I kind of liked because one for us.
No, no, definitely. I always love Japanese, especially this being a Japanese anime. You know, Japan had to be the first victory, right, for the
Yeah,
humankind, right? So that being said, yeah, Sasaki. So most people know him for his duel with Miyamoto Musashi, right? Because Miyamoto Musashi is the absolute legend, right? He's the author of the Book of the Five Rings. He's a master of the two wielding sword. Much isn't known about Sasaki in the sense that he was. They know his history from what they call it is a Nitenkai's account. So it's told through a third person's perspective of everything that happened that of that day and his story, his background. So it's kind of like okay, they don't have like definitive proof, but they know that he is a historical figure, right? They can trace some of his lineage and they can trace some of his like where he worked at and what kind of master he was. So they can trace that kind of stuff, but like all things, this is all about legends, right? So definitely I like this story. I like how he never gave up. They gave him that kind of like determination to never give up, to always master. And then in his end game with because you gotta read that battle, Nick, whenever you have a chance, man. Read the battle between them, dude. So Miyamoto, like, basically it took him like half a day. He jumped on a canoe, grabbed a piece of wood, whittled it into a sword as he paddled his way to the battle in Ginyu, which is like an island, right? And he battled like he paddled his way over there. had this dude sitting there waiting for like half a day. He gets there and basically Sasaki was like, he's tired. He was like, I'm gonna kill you. And they were like really supposed to go to death, right? But he was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you, you know? So he pulls out his sword and Miyamoto pulls out this wooden, like they call it boken, like it's a wooden sword. He pulls out this boken and they basically cracks him over the head with it and kills him like that. Not even drawing a real blade on the guy, dude. It's like so disrespectful, right? It's
Yeah.
like it's not even like a fair, right? That's who I
Yeah.
thought they were gonna bring out, man. Like, you know, but I get it that they brought out him because of his determination and, you know, like the human spirit, our determination. We can get knocked down over and over and over, and we can, you know, you can always rise from the ashes and make your life worthy, right? So
Yeah.
that's where they were getting at with that. Yeah, definitely, man. I thought Poseidon. I was kind of like kind of disappointed because I was like Poseidon could have just like put him in a bubble of water,
Yeah.
you know, and just held him in that bubble of water until he gave out all his breath. So I'm not really sure why he
I,
didn't do that.
yeah.
Like, you know, he was doing some weird piercing with this thing,
With
like
his
bro,
trident.
like,
Yeah. It was.
don't you
It,
command water?
I
Like,
I feel like with Poseidon, he's that perfect cocky god, and they were up 2-0, so he felt cocky, like, and he got
but
caught.
why would he? But why would he just put him in a bubble, like a
I
water bubble,
Yeah,
and
I
just
mean,
put
yeah,
him there?
yeah,
Just like idiot the match like that. If you see, that's a true god to me. You know, a true god to me wouldn't like I guess because they gotta drag it on for,
yeah,
for like anime sake, you know. But like
yeah,
the same thing like when Zeus and Adam, like why didn't he just fry him with some like a lightning bolt, just like shot down until he couldn't
yeah,
resist anymore, you know? Like I don't understand this, but it's
yeah,
cool, man. like I like the fight, man. Yeah, you're right. Humanity got round number their first win, and you know it was a good battle, man. I what I'd say, and it ended right there. Right, that was the last one.
yeah.
So it
And then
left you yearning for more. Like, oh man, dude, season 2 gonna come knocking and rolling, and let's get to round 4, man. If you had to rate season 1, 1 through 5,
one,
what
one
are we
through
doing?
five. Uh, I'll give it a 4. Um, I'll give it a 4. There was of course the Adam fight was kind of the one that kind of felt wonky to me a bit. Was I just it was kind of that was the one that dragged a bit for me. Um, did you freeze? Oh no, you
Season
did.
1,
Yeah, so season one, I did that one. That was I think it was a 4 out of 5 for me. I liked it, but there was the
oh,
Zeus, yeah, the Zeus and the Adam fight was the one that I was kind of like, nah, I don't know about this.
I have to agree. So the Zeus and Adam fight, no go for me.
Yeah,
I thought that was really stupid. You know, that's just me.
yeah,
So that being said, I agree. 4 out of 5. Animation, awesome. Great. Love the style. Very little 3D modeling in there. Very, very little 3D modeling. I think they did it with Adam. They did 3D modeling. And same thing versus like with season 2. They did it with Rated. The 3D modeling, which I hate, you know me, I hate that 3D
yeah,
modeling. But definitely season 1 of 4, definitely great story, great animation, didn't linger so long